A very good afternoon, Team Zimbabwe, and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. And this afternoon, let us talk about important matters. So we need to take a look on what is transpiring in the political arena, particularly Agenda 2030, which is actually the talk of the town at this moment in time. We have Vice President Chiwenga, who is set to take over from President Emmerson Mnangagwa. That is something which cannot be contested because we all know that the key role which he played in the November 2017 coup and thereafter. And also, we know that he is the second most senior after Idi Mnangagwa. That is something which is already in the public domain. And we need to clearly take a look and understand what is really happening. What is the focal point of the war between ED and Chiwenga? And it's very important for us to take a look onto those issues. There are three key videos which we need to take a look on. The first video is a video from Job Sikala. Job Sikala claims that he was jailed for much longer because of rumors that he was working with VP Chiwenga and he wanted to overthrow President Emmerson Mnangagwa. That is what Job Sikala said in an interview. We need to play this video, then we give a commentary on it.
That was done. The most dangerous rumor which hardened my oppressors, which was spread, which are false, and I want this one to be very known by anyone, was that, no, Job Sikala, what he has been doing, in whatever he was doing, is he has been used and was working in collusion with the General Chiwenga to overthrow Emmerson Mnangagwa's presidency in this country. A pure lie created, I don't know for what purpose. So when this rumor was also conveyed to my oppressors became hardened through a lie. I've never met General Chiwenga. I don't know him. Where this rumor emanated from, and for it to be said, I still wonder up to present day what the intentions was.
What was the effect of that rumor on people like Nelson Chamisa?
No, I don't know because I was not there. But it is one of those that has been spread against me when I was inside, and it received recipients from my oppressors to believe the same, that truly there was some collusion between me and General Chiwenga. But I don't know General Chiwenga, we never met. The only time I met him was in July 1997.
Right.
Some 30 years ago, I think. Some 20 plus years ago, I think, when we as student leaders visited, when we visited the State House after invitation to a meeting by the late President Robert Mugabe to go and solve the issues why we have been causing demonstrations at the University of Zimbabwe, what were our grievances.
So Job Sikala says he was persecuted because of false rumors which were spread. But other sources say, if you remember the July 31st movement protests, where Job Sikala and Jacob Ngarivume, both of them, they have been jailed by the regime. They were targeted because they wanted to influence the July 31st movement. But because they were not much connected to the people, they failed to mobilize masses to go into the streets. Another sources say that it was something which was planned in between the pro-general people and Job Sikala. Those are the issues. And the major question is, was it necessary for them to meet, or there was supposed to be evidence for them to be linked together? And what if the regime simply wanted to see how the other was going to react if his people are jailed? That is another view. So, but before we go any further, we need to play another video, which is showing how dangerous this war is become at this moment in time. Because remember, this is Job Sikala actually confirming that the regime had some sort of intelligence, and he denies these allegations, but he says that the regime was pinning him to be a co-worker of the general. And let us take a look onto this video. 2030. So it is in the public knowledge that 2030 President Emerson Mnangagwa will not be in power. Why? It's because his term expires in 2028, and harmonized elections are supposed to be called according to the constitution. Even if he is to amend the constitution, the law does not allow him to contest in the 2028 elections and become a president. Maybe you have to do so after maybe in 2033, if he manages to amend the constitution and he so wishes to also continue as a president. Maybe pamwe ndo paangazogona kubvumirwa. So if you take a look onto this slogan, 2030, what it means is he will be in charge. He's going to be in charge up to beyond 2028, which means they've disregarded the constitutional provisions which are there, or they are thinking to amend the constitution. And after amending the constitution, they illegally send him as a presidential candidate for the 2028 elections, or they shifted the elections of 2028 to another date, unknown date. That is another strategy which they might use. Yekuti, we are shifting elections from 5 years to maybe 7 years or 8 years. That is another strategy. Achimbomirira kuti maybe mfano wake ange achikura. So that is another avenue which they might use to get to 2028. And most importantly, this has been affirmed by various people, and it has been confirmed by several people. I'm trying to find a video right here from Masvingo provincial chairperson Robson Mavenyengwa, where he also campaigned for President Emerson Mnangagwa's 2030 agenda. And this was in presence of President Emerson Mnangagwa himself. And if you take a look on these things, then they shed bad light. So for the second time, I'm going to play a video from Kembo Mohadi, a senior official of ZANU-PF who was attending this meeting. And that clearly shows the kind of thinking we have within ZANU-PF. This is a declaration of war in between the comrades. This is a declaration of war, and it is going to have so grave consequences, because it won't be taken lightly. Let us hear what was said here.
2030! 2030! Vamnangagwa vanenge varipo! Vamnangagwa vanenge varipo! Pasine mantu!
So this is the man who is in charge of Masvingo province within ZANU-PF structures, and it is clear that Agenda 2030 is on the cards. And this is a very senior political person who must know better that power should change hands within ZANU-PF in 2028. You must have a new face representing the party. for the 2028 elections, and you have senior officials, a provincial member, senior member, actually declaring war, and you'd wonder, what kind of a leader does that? Because you are supposed to be neutral. You are supposed to be supporting whoever is going to be chosen by the party to succeed President Emmerson Mnangagwa, but he has already taken sides as a chief person within the Masvingo province, and it was confirmed by VP Kembo Mohadi. Let us hear him confirming.
2030. 2030. 2030. Wasingade. Wasingade. Wasingao.
So to me, this is a declaration of war, and it is going to be a very, very difficult moment for VP Chiwenga going forward, because this has been made public to say 2030 Mnangagwa vanenge vachiripo, which means ivo VP Chiwenga vava panguva yakaoma. But to those who are saying VP Chiwenga has been is now weak, is now useless, and is not going to fight back, all I can say, you cannot tell at this moment in time. Remember, he's a survivor. He is a man who was sick or who was on the deathbed for a very long time, and he was flown to various countries, different countries, from South Africa and to up to China. He was flown to different medical facilities, and he came back walking. So that is very, very important to note, Team Zimbabwe, that when you say Vice President Chiwenga is out of the picture, you have to understand that God saved him for a purpose. Personally, I believe that no matter the differences which we have, God saved him for a purpose. He is one of the key people who can actually correct the mess we are in the nation of Zimbabwe at this particular moment. That is how I view things. And I believe that maybe at the right time, this is my own personal belief. I do not know what he might be planning or his capabilities, but I still believe that God saved him for a purpose. I believe that God had to save him to fulfill is something very important for the nation. I don't believe that to take over from Garwe in 2028, but I believe that he was saved for a purpose. Just imagine if he wasn't there, who was then going to challenge the current president to not go beyond 2028, who was going to challenge him. And look at Kembo Mohadi. Kembo Mohadi has already adopted this slogan. Kembo Mohadi is comforted being a vice president, because he knows that if President Mnangagwa is to continue up to 2030, then he, Kembo Mohadi, will continue as a vice president as well. He doesn't have any ambitions to become the president, because he knows that he won't succeed because of tribal lines and tribal issues within ZANU-PF. So they will not allow him to take over. Saka, this is what is happening in Zimbabwe. It's a moment of madness, and I view this as a declaration of war on the camp of the general. This is my view. Remember, general is supposed to take over in 2028, and the campaign is 2030. What does that mean? Why is it that it has been confirmed by several people? It started with Job Sikala raising alarm on why he was arrested. Secondly, we saw my youth Masvingo actually fighting and campaigning for President Mnangagwa to be there, and then we now have VP Mohadi confirming, and the Masvingo chairperson also confirming that indeed that is what they want. So the major question is, are the ZANU-PF structures going to allow this? Are other ambitious people going to allow this? and it's something very important in Zimbabwe.